A young man in Benton County, Missouri is hoping other kids will get their hearts checked so they can avoid a close call like his own. Devon Parrott and his family want to help yours avoid tragedy. Linda Russell has their story.
Still made it. Got a lucky leg out.
Today, Devon Parrott's mom is grateful the call from school wasn't worse.
Like, my skin felt fuzzy and stuff, and the teacher said I was swaying, but I couldn't really feel that, and I just fell. I didn't even know really what happened.
The fact that he came to makes us very lucky, but if you'll read the statistics, most of the time the warning sign is death, and then the families will check into it and find out what they've had.
Tests on Devon's heart revealed he has a condition called long QT, which causes an irregular heartbeat. It came as a complete shock.
Every well check, never nothing. We went every year, just like most kids do. I was one of those extra paranoid moms that didn't miss an appointment,
Being an athlete from a very young age,
Good one.
The diagnosis brought big changes for Devon.
I was really athletic. I loved, all the sports. It was kind of depressing.
But with heart medication and an implanted cardiac defibrillator in his chest, Devon is focusing his energy on kicking.
I just started practicing on that and got pretty consistent in it. Feels pretty good.
To raise awareness for Devon's heart condition and others, his family has started a 5K run here on the streets in Lincoln every spring, and part of the money raised goes to screen other kids.
I got lucky, but some other people might not get as lucky as I did, so I think this will really help.
This year, they've raised enough to screen more than 100 teens with an EKG and an echocardiogram.
Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late, because, we are so lucky, blessed, that he did come to, but that typically doesn't happen.
In Benton County, Missouri, Linda Russell, KY3 News.
The screenings through St. Luke's Hospital will be held October 25th in Clinton. To sign up your teenager for a free screening, call this number, 660-547-3355, or go to this story at ky3.com.
For young athletes, there's usually a quick physical, and it's onto the playing field. But there is a hidden heart defect that can lead to sudden tragedy.
Now, parents have a new offense. KY3's Linda Russell shows us what could catch a deadly defect before it's too late.
Kids right here in the Ozarks have died from sudden cardiac arrest, but two women, including one who knows the heartache of losing a child, are on a mission to save lives.
McKinley was brighter than the sun.
For McKinley Lambert, there were warning signs.
She was having trouble at swim meets, and she couldn't swim long distances. She was having trouble breathing.
It was a hole in McKinley's heart the doctors repaired in open heart surgery. But tragically, 3 years later, a plane crash claimed McKinley and her brother Grayson's lives, along with 3 others.
I've struggled with a focus. Other than my surviving 11-year-old, it's kind of been tough to try to get out of bed every morning.
But Georgia says a message from her daughter has helped her find new purpose.
I've had several dreams with the kids, visitation dreams. I know that they really were there with me. She said, "Mom, you're supposed to help other kids." And she said everything I went through, all the trouble I went through, the 9 hours of open heart surgery.
Unlike McKinley's heart, many have no warning.
He was just a normal roughhouse kid.
Forrest Varney was an athlete practically all of his 17 years.
From go-kart racing to football, basketball, baseball, about everything.
But at an early morning basketball practice, he collapsed.
They just never did revive him, and they had all the latest equipment that most schools have. I believe everybody did everything they could.
Forrest's heart stopped.
They said it was an enlarged heart and congestive heart failure.
And that's what I'm hoping, along with this company, to try to help save some families the grief and the pain and agony of having to go through this.
She had called me and said, I think this is something that I need to do.
It's a cause that had also been tugging on longtime friend Tammy Cowan's heartstrings.
We had heard that there were a couple young students that had died from sudden cardiac death in the area, and there wasn't anybody doing sudden cardiac death screenings.
Already having the ultrasound equipment for her business, Tammy was soon set up for heart screenings. They include 3 blood pressure measurements, a 12-lead electrocardiogram.
The heart gives out electrical pulses, And if something is wrong with the heart, then by reading one of these, usually the physician can tell.
And an echocardiogram of the heart.
And then we look at all of the valves, make sure that they're in working order, make sure there's no quote-unquote holes in the heart.
Kristy wanted her heart checked out following a recent episode while training for her first marathon.
I just started feeling really ill, like getting dizzy, and I made it across the street, and I thought, I need to stop right now or something bad's going to happen. So I went ahead and laid down, and I passed out for a few seconds.
See there? This is her regurgitation. So when the valve closes, she's got a little psh.
The screening, which is read by a cardiologist, found Kristy has a mild heart murmur.
I do want to learn more about it.
She's glad to have the information without a hefty hospital bill.
If it cost $1,000, I wouldn't have gone on my own.
Midwest Heart Check is doing the screenings for $150.
We know that there are people in the Ozarks that can't afford to go and get a $1,200 echo and a $75 ECG. You know, it doesn't take much to save a life.
They hope to screen as many student athletes as possible and catch heart problems before it's too late.
I think he maybe made a point that something needs to be done.
McKinley was very clear to me. It was just, we had to do this, Mom, and this is what you're supposed to do. So I understand now.
Midwest Heart Check is completely mobile and hopes to even take their equipment into schools to do the screenings. The Grayson McKinley Memorial Foundation is raising money to help families that can't afford the $150 screening. We'll link you to more information on how you can have your child screened in this story at ky3.com.